DQ poll question of the night is whether or not Steve Blass should continue to talk about the weather.
And he is the power broadcaster, for those who don't know.
And I, of course, changed the channel to MLB Network to watch a Strasburg pitch, more interesting than any Pirate game. And they had a live look-in because of a rain delay. And we are now embarrassed on the national level because that part of the bowl game was on MLB Network. And they say that the team, though they're below average still, that they're exciting to watch. Then why do you continue to talk about the rain and not the actual baseball game?
Oh, furthermore, to add to the DQ fun, the DQ text poll question, they have select nights now, and the winner of each day gets a free Dairy Queen cake. So not only did they open Steve Blass talking about the weather up to the world, but now the entire country has a chance to win a DQ cake instead of Pittsburgh.
Which is ironic because they were flailing around and saying how cold it was, so they're not going to even want the ice cream.
Well, I want the cake, just saying. But that really, no, I haven't eaten anything since breakfast, so yeah, it's been a long day, you know, clumping 3 classes together and having 2 interviews. It's a long day, but
it was a very fruitful day.
Good deal. Speaking of which, the question yesterday on MLB Network, showing that, I mean, it kind of, I don't think that's the worst thing that's ever happened, but the Pirates are already the joke of the MLB, and when something like that happens, it makes people stop and look, and it's not a good thing. I mean, I know Root Sports is trying real hard. I don't blame Steve Blass for that, because he's my man. I mean, I've never met him in my life, but he's my man, but, you know, it's not good for the Pirates, not good for the city of Pittsburgh, seeing how many people were at the game last night, like...
The listed attendance was 9,800 something or something along those lines.
I doubt that.
But I know technically, I'll tell you, because I went to the ballpark at 5 o'clock, and because they have the early entrance for season ticket holders in the Clemente Gate, there were, count 'em, 4 people, including myself, that went in, and the person I gave the free ticket to, Big Yellow, was the 5th person in. I was the first person in. Like, we deserve, like, community service awards for having to deal with the punishment of having to watch this team this year and having to watch them go all in.
You know what, that's so bad. I have a joke for you. You were talking about how 5 people were at the game. You know what's funnier than 5? Go.
September the 8th?
No. 6.
You know what's even funnier? They probably included both teams' full rosters as part of the attendance to add that on.
And the entire grounds crew and everything like that.
And the egg.
And, yes, the egg, Kentique the egg to Colby. We'll have to explain this to Steven during the commercial break, but those of you who listen to AZ Sports understand. Anyhow, the Pirates have just been a mess since the All-Star break. A lot of losing to the Astros. I think after losing last night to the Astros have tied the season series with the Pirates. Losing, I get it. It's a Charlie Sheen joke. His birthday was last Saturday, by the way. Happy birthday, Charlie Sheen.
Winning.
And you know, a team that allows Carlos Lee to steal a base, you're in bad shape. You're in horrible shape because the running conditions in the infield.
And Ramos Ramirez, who hasn't stolen a base since 2009.
The running conditions of the infield were treacherous, and a close to probably 350-pound man with no athletic ability stole a base.
I mean, I thought I was going to a Pirate game, and it ended up that I was paying money to go to Sandcastle. It was this nice little slip and slide. And the grounds crew doesn't do anything. They'd rather not do anything. They decided, okay, we're going to take the tarp off, but we're going to clean our little precious field, which didn't get soaked with 1 ounce of rain. Good job, guys. Way to be useless. That's our grounds crew in a nutshell, and I can tell they're definitely listening, and they're probably tarping the field off because someone spit on it.
You know, it's funny you say that, because last night on the game, the part I did listen to, they kept talking about how good the grounds crew was. Zach, I mean, you go to a lot more games than I do. I'm not going to lie about that for any reason. What do you think about the grounds crew? Because we don't talk about, I don't think we've ever really talked about them on this show.
Well, quite frankly, they suck. As one Joseph Koval would say. It's not up there. And it's not up there, but because honestly, they want to take the easy way out of everything. If it means tarping the field, they've tarped the field for batting practice. I've counted about 12 to 15 times this season. And, you know, it's ridiculous because we want to see our players out there performing and getting the pregame work in, get that autograph, get that elusive baseball, whatever the reason for being there early is. You know, watch the team. You're granted early time to watch your Pirates, and half the time they're not there because the grounds crew wants to prepare their precious field so they can sit on their bums for 3 hours and not do anything. I mean, and then, even worse, every time it rains, they have their little yellow galoshes in like they're in the 1st grade, and then they just pour the field with kitty litter and say, okay, feels good. I mean, they're the most completely useless people. I mean, all of them should be fired from their jobs. I took a picture on Facebook.
Oh my, that's a little hard.
I took a picture on Facebook. In the bullpen, there was a grounds crew member sitting. He was standing in the same position for 5 minutes. I'll show you guys what the picture was. I'm sorry you guys can't see it, but this is how the guy stood for 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's bad.
Didn't move.
That's real bad.
Didn't breathe.
You know what I was thinking? Since he can't field,
just sign him up for the Pirates.
Since he can't field or hit at this point,
you do realize the camera's on, right?
Why don't we set up an interview for Pedro Alvarez to be on the grounds crew?
Yeah, sounds
because
good.
He
can't move.
He can't do anything else.
He'd be just
Andrew McCutcheon there. Maybe if he speeds across the field, maybe water
Ronnie Cedeno too. I hear they don't want to re-sign Ronnie Cedeno. Maybe the
we'll get to that later. We'll get to Ronnie Cedeno later.
What a mess! Yeah.
He looks like a popsicle stick with a glove in the field.
Did you see him? This is a couple weeks ago. It was maybe the worst play of the summer, and there have been a lot of really bad plays. There was a ground ball. I think it was a double play possibility ball. Maybe not. I don't remember. It was right to him, just a routine ground ball, and he ran the other way. He ran the other way. How's that happen?
The only thing routine to him is to be god-awful at baseball.
Well, the reason why he did that is because, you know, you anticipate the ball coming one way and the ball comes the other way. I mean, that's at least understandable. But what's not understandable was last year.
No, that's not understandable. When do you see that?
He draws mustaches on his face.
That's ridiculous. You never see that.
Yes, you do.
You don't.
You actually do. I mean, it depends on the formation you're going, because you might be thinking you're going to cover second, or you shift one way to try and get set for something, and the ball comes the other way. I mean, it happens more often than you think, but considering it's the Pirates, it's second nature anymore. But, I mean, right now, we've called a lot of guys up. Paul Mulholland's done for the season. Jeff Carson's is missed another start. Brian Burrs is going tonight. Kevin Correa, our wins leader, he's gone for the whole year. So a lot of guys that are coming up, like Jeff Locke, for instance, is going to get a chance to start. Aaron Thompson's going to get a chance to start. He looked good in his little pitch count time that he had. Brad Lincoln, minus that second inning yesterday night, had a pretty solid outing, but it's the theme of the year. The Pirates offense can't do squat. I mean, I might as well get a few hobos off the street, and they'll pretty much do the same thing.
You might as well get a few.
You guys want to play? You guys want to play for the Pirates tonight? I mean, I'm sure we probably could.
I'm pretty sure we could. I mean, I might not be able to throw as far as Andrew McCutcheon, but what am I kidding? I mean, he throws from center field all the way into the third base dugout.
Caught 117 baseballs this season. Chances are he played decent outfield.
Chances are I'd have a better shot of hitting a ball than Ronnie Cedeno.
Should I tell my random story of what happened at the ballpark to me yesterday?
Go ahead.
We're going up to the general area of the stadium, and I secure my spot on the steps. I come running up, and this middle-aged dude trying to get autographs decides, okay, we're going to cut me off. So I'm running, the guy slips and falls down the steps, and I just keep going. That's what you get when you try to race me.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball in a nutshell.
It was like the pierogi race gone wrong.
That's worse than the guy that offered my brother weed last Thursday night.
Where is this going?
It was on the north side, right by PNC Park.
Oh, okay, so at least it has some relevance.
Yes, that was exactly. Probably Cedeno, too.
There were these tolls in front of us that kept smacking each other. I didn't know what to do. I tried to go around them, so this guy comes up and says,
what happened?
He goes to my brother. He says, hey, you want some weed? And he's like, no. Or he said, you want some pot? He said, my brother's name is Jeremy. He went, no, I don't want any, no thanks. So I was real pissed off, though. You know why? Because he didn't ask me if I wanted any. I was pissed off. He asked my brother. My brother's 15 years old. He didn't ask me. I'm almost 19. That really disgusts me.
Well, you still get kids promotions from the Pirates.
But that was on the north side by PNC Park, so that's how it connects to the Pirates. Is anyone going to talk?
Well, do it live. I feel like this is like a Bill O'Reilly moment right now.
We'll do it live. All right.
Well, that was not... well, I don't even know what to say about that. Let's move on to... why don't you talk about that McCutcheon experience that you saw? About the sunflower seeds.
Oh, yeah, the other day watching the game, again, not watching the actual game, and they just show Andrew McCutcheon in the dugout throwing seeds at, what is our third base coach's name?
Nick Leyva.
Yeah, that
Yes.
guy, another one who doesn't do anything.
He looks creepy.
Let's wave everyone home and get them thrown out. And just throwing sunflower seeds at him, and you can read his mouth that couldn't hit him, and finally he hits him, and just acted like he won the World Series. And
well, yeah, I've had a similar experience too.
I guess for the Pirates, hitting their third base coach in the rear end with seeds is good enough for them.
Two, as my 8th grade social studies teacher would call them, highlights for me this year were, you know the little yellow pirate parrot baseballs that they launch up?
Yeah.
The bullpen gets one each time he does this, and Daniel McCutcheon's the ringleader. Him and Reesop like stand still and try to peg each other. Well, I'm imagining you know where Daniel McCutcheon hit Chris Reesop, so he went, and then they ended up tossing me the ball, which kind of, anyways. And then
that must be gross.
On television experience, remember when they had who was good, the all-you-can-eat doubleheader against Milwaukee, and they had those 3 dudes in the all-you-can-eat section.
Yeah, they did it while Prince Fielder was there.
And they they did a full segment. They showed the guys the entire doubleheader, and they made the text question, "Who's going to eat the most?" And they did a running score of who ate the most. I think one dude actually dropped out.
You know what I really want to know? I want to know why all the Pirates coaches, John Russell included.
He who shall not be named. You're the one that made that.
I'm sorry. He who shall not be named included, along with Nick Leyva, now that I think about it, and Clint Hurdle. Why do they all look like they get spray tans? They're all orange.
Well, Herbie's not orange because he's.
Well,
Zach, that's another close racist.
One possibility may be that they have a lot of time to tan, sit out in the sun when they're not in the playoffs. So
they're wearing yellow batting practice jerseys.
During the off season when they're not doing anything. I mean, I know it's October when they don't make the playoffs, but apparently they don't prepare for the season either. So might as well get some color, no?
I agree. I mean, the off season's coming. You're not going to get any color in Pittsburgh, so I guess they're laying out, getting as much as they can during the summer.
Don't even get me started.
You know what's weird? This doesn't have to do with the Pirates, but I was looking over a list of names, and one of the names on the list was Taylor Hall, and I'm like, Taylor Hall? And then it wasn't Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall being of the Edmonton Oilers, the #1 overall draft pick in the NHL draft 2 years ago. I told you it didn't have anything to do with the Pirates, but we needed a filler for the last 10 seconds.
Only guy who can break an ankle during a fight.
Let me put it this way. In the words of my English teacher from this semester, who wants the final word?
Well, we are up against another commercial break.
What?
Well, we are, aren't we? Yes, I know.
I said final words before commercial break. You're like, well, we're up against break. Well, this is like your last thing.
We have to get to a commercial break. We have a lot to talk about next time. We're going to cut to a commercial break. Do you want to talk? Any final words? What's your final word, Zach? I'll just you add one.
Word.
You're listening to A&Z Sports on 670 AM WPPJ Radio.